Hello, and welcome to tonight's Midnight Musing. If you just watched Kansas City defeat the 49ers, welcome. So you may have had a interesting ride. So tonight, a Sunday kind of love. It's raining outside, so I'm feeling kind of cozy. And the topic for tonight is love and happiness. And what am I thinking about as it relates to love and happiness? I actually had a podcast with a friend of mine, actually fellow classmate from college, and we were talking about in our podcast, which if you haven't listened, nostupidquestionshow.com, we were talking about the connection between love and happiness. The Al Green song, talks about love will make you do wrong. And I was just thinking about how much we often invest in our happiness in the love of others, and how little, by comparison, we invest in ourselves and our own sort of care and concern and attention to our beloved self. So that's really the thing that I've been thinking about, is this connection between love and happiness, and how maybe the song should say self-love and happiness. Because I think the only time that you start to do wrong is if you're not happy with yourself and you're so dependent and so desirous of the love of someone else. In the podcast, we talk about this story of, just some of the, I don't like to use the word, some of the foolish things that we do for love. And it's not that you can't be a fool for love. It's just that if you put your health or your life or anyone else's health or life in jeopardy, then you got to wonder about what part of love is this? What type of love is this, and how healthy is this? So just thinking about not only what kind of love is really at the heart of your happiness, but also what does happiness mean to you? And there's this other saying that love is hard. And I gotta kind of wonder about that too. Do we make things harder than they need to be? Do we, hard and not easy, are those exactly the same? Because I think everything is intended to challenge us and to enable us to grow. And I think love is one of those things. And I mean, it can be intense, and it can be challenging, but that's when our brains grow. That's when we're sort of tested in terms of determining how we're going to react to things. And I think it really has, if we're being aware, the opportunity for us to grow. And that's where I think this concept of happiness, which is not an endpoint. So for those of you who think that, you're going to be happy and that's going to be the end of it, I think for those of us who have been around for a little while, you're in for a little bit of a rude awakening. So I think balance is the name of the game. What's the right amount of challenge that you want to have in your connection and relationship and love for yourself, and then also your love for others, that will give you the balance that you need, and ideally the most optimal, connection that you can have. So the last thing I want to talk about is what this is all about, in terms of how you view love and how you view happiness. And I really, really think that it has a lot to do with the power of mindset. And a lot of people will talk about the power of words, but words affect your mindset. So when someone tells you that love is going to be hard, you're going to think that love is going to be hard. And you're going to make love hard because that's what you've heard. And so I think it's not, we talk about the power of words, but really the power that we have is in determining what our mindset is going to be about something. And there's a whole lot of stuff that I would love to talk about with respect to that, how we define success and how we define this concept of failure, which failure is really about learning opportunities, right? So again, the words change when the mindset changes and vice versa. So I really want us to think about, or this is what I've been thinking about, how I think about happiness, how I think about the love that is required for me to feel whatever happiness means to me. And I'd be interested in what you guys are thinking. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? Particularly, and we talk about this if you're interested in my EmBODY Love program, what are the things that I have control over, that I can create more joy, more happiness, more positivity in my life on a regular basis? So what are those things, and how can I do more of that? And it's not going to be possible for you to do that 100% of the time, but how can you find love and happiness in your life as much as possible? And you can say that and have that goal and that intention. And the question is, how are you understanding what those specific activities are, how they make you feel? There's always a spectrum, right? This particular activity is going to put you at a 10 on the joy scale. And then there's other activities that may be a little lower down. So how can you make sure that more of the time you're really radiating and feeling, and you're changing your mindset about things so that you experience more of the positive side of them, more of that glass half full than you are glass half empty. And that in there is where we'll find the connection between, I think, what I'm going to say Al Green is meaning to say, which is between self-love and happiness. So those are my midnight musings on love for tonight. I wish you all a Sunday kind of love from me to you, and we'll talk to you soon.